What is up, guys? Welcome to Tay and K, and here is why I hate No Man's Sky. Alright guys, so as I stated, this video is about why I hate No Man's Sky. Now, let me clarify by saying that I actually very much enjoy the game. I've enjoyed all the experience I've had with it thus far. However, the brilliance of the game, you might say, has been weaning thin on me as well as thousands of others playing this game. Now, to give you some backstory, if you don't know what No Man's Sky is an exploration, survival, combat, etc. game released for the PlayStation 4 on August 9th, as well as the PC at the time of this. It has not been released yet. The game No Man's Sky takes place in a giant, procedurally generated open universe, including over 18 quintillion planets. Now, the actual quintillion number and where that lies in millions, billions, etc., it's a lot of planets. More so than any one individual could possibly explore in their lifetime, or even yet the lifetime of the PlayStation 4, which is what No Man's Sky was released for. By exploring the universe, the player can gain information about the planets that are submitted to what's known as the Atlas, which is a universal database, which you'll see much throughout the game in the form of Atlas data pads and etc. And by using that, you're also compensated in game currency, as well as eventually seeing other planets that people have discovered, as well as other life forces that people have discovered and either chosen to use the default name or named themselves. Now, so we have a brief understanding of what the game entails. You are a lone survivor in a gigantic, biggest ever known, largest created universe in a video game before, and you're left to explore it on your own. Now, the scenes that you get, the creatures you observe, the planets you find, the space battles you witness. All breathtaking to say the least. They're all quite interesting, and they will hold your interest for quite some time. However, going back to what I previously said, you're in the largest known universe ever created in a video game, larger than Skyrim, any of the Bethesda games, any other game even out there, Grand Theft Auto. You are in the largest universe ever, with almost no loading screens in between planets. You're able to take off of one planet, fly around that entire planet, break through the atmosphere, go into space, and fly wherever you wish. And unfortunately, that's where that stops, because there's not enough change from the planets to planets to continue with any sort of narrative to keep your interest, unfortunately. Now, I'm still playing this game. I still find it very enjoyable. However, the only way that I can play with my friends and enjoy this experience together is through the use of the PlayStation 4 party chat, and that's where it stops. I can only communicate them and say, hey, I just found this creature at that time. I have to pick up my phone, take a picture of the creature, and send it to them, rather than the developers, Hello Game, including some sort of party up feature, where you can group on each other and you can explore the universe together. Now, in previous statements, Sean Murray has said this is not an MMO. If you're looking for an MMO, this is not it. He has also several times disputed the fact of any multiplayer being in this game. However, statements were made that said if two individuals, which highly unlikely, ever did meet, at that point, one, that'd be the only time you could ever see what your person looked like, so I guess there's no reflective surfaces in this game, as well as that time you will be able to see somebody else other than yourself and some unknown creatures or AI.
Do we ever get to see ourselves?
No, you don't see yourself, so the only way for you to know what you look like is for somebody else to see you.
Can you run into other people, other players on the game?
Yes, but the chances of that are incredibly rare, just because of the size of what we're building.
Wow. Will you be able to play with your friends?
Yeah,
Can you grief other players?
a little bit.
Now, as of the time of this, 2 individuals have already managed to land on a same planet, at which point they attempted to meet up, and unfortunately they were left with very disappointing results, which, as the 2 met up at the exact same location as well as a local space station, they were unable to see each other. Now, many people say this is like a Minecraft port, but just expanded on it. Not quite. You're unable to manually deform the planets other than just collecting resources. So again, there was no way for them, minus collecting resources, to even confirm that the 2 could see what the other was doing, and they were again left with negative results. Now, these issues were excused by the use of too many people playing the server at one time, and that is why they were unable to see each other. However, what everyone's getting at is that you are just unable to play with each other, which unfortunately is going to leave this game high and dry after people play it for a little while and there's not anything to keep their interest. However, if they were able to manage in a 4-player setup where I could group up with 4 of my friends, each with their own ship, and be able to fly from planet to planet, you're going to now extend that interest there. So, here is where I'm going to end it, guys. I appreciate you all watching. I know I didn't go into too much detail about why I really hated it, and for the most part, I really actually enjoy the game. I just really wish in a game that's completely created around social interaction, i.e. the discoveries, naming planets, different types of vehicles, or I'm sorry, ships, all with their own different looks, abilities, and all that, and yet you still have the lack of the actual social interaction with other individuals. It kind of leaves all that with no purposes. Yes, I can explore a planet by myself, but what good is exploring if you can't share it with others? And other than the word of mouth, there is no way to currently do that. So please, Hello Games, create some sort of multiplayer backing to this game. I don't care if this game is not an MMO. I don't really honestly care about seeing anybody else. Would it be interesting? Absolutely. If I could land on a planet and actually see other players going around doing the exact same thing I'm doing, flying over top of me, the possibility that, they could start attacking me because they're pirates, that's going to leave this game interesting. That's going to add a different element that you still have to be ready for. But really, the only gripe I have about this game is the lack of me being able to participate with my friends on the same planet, sharing starships or flying together and just experiencing that together. That is my only gripe, guys. So please share this video, put it everywhere in hopes that someone can see it or enough mouths can complain about this to where we get the feature finally added. That is all we want, guys. So this is Taylor with Tay&K. I appreciate you guys watching this video, listening to me rant on, and stay tuned for more to come, guys. You guys all have a great rest of your day.